The universe is chaotic and consistent at the same time. From its outer reaches to its core, the law remains the same. With anything precious, there are those who would take it. Worldless, space-going scum who would sell a planet's lifeblood to the highest bidder. And damn the consequences. Their thievery ends here. As the universe has its own immutable laws, I have my own law. What kills must die.
This wasn't my idea. I didn't want to come to this settlement and take Federation goods. But our illegal warship needs fuel. And Lady Bossy Butt picked this job. Having 2 militants should have made this easy. Hopefully the ship won't be busted when we get back. Hopefully. Just another dirty deed we do. But hey, at least it's fun.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Hope you're doing good. It is a Friday. We had a lot going on today. So not only are we streaming because Zalen just opened up, but also or launched, we're closing down RippaZine issue number 3. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. All that said. Also, we're joined by Carrow Brown, who is the executive assistant here. She does a lot. Basically everything I do, she also does as well, for the most part.
Including not sleeping. I'm really good at that with you.
Yeah, exactly. But she's here because she's the writer of the Dirty Deed story, which is the short that's in issue number 3 of the RippaZine. So, Carol, how you doing?
I'm tired, like you.
Yeah, man, tell me about it.
It's been a wonderful day. We launched the Hero Stash today.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yes,
yeah. That was why we woke up so early, because we wanted to make sure that it would work appropriately. And so I'm really glad that we did that, because I know so many people were kind of like, is there a way that we can save on shipping without? Yeah. So I'm really excited about that, and nothing broke on it today. That's great.
What was surprising. If I'm being completely honest, and Carol's completely right. I was up at 3 a.m. We were working on the Hero Stash because we wanted that to be live. I'll explain what that is here in a little bit, but we wanted that to be live as we were launching this, because we knew that was going to be a case of, people want to add things to their orders and all that good stuff. So it's a great time to have that thing rolled out. So yeah. We're going to talk about that here in a bit, but the Hero Stash, another big thing for the day. The Hero Stash is finally live. We got RippaZine issue number 3 closing out at 11 p.m. Tonight, 11 p.m. Central. We will not be streaming for 4 hours, guys.
No,
so we're not.
I told them I'm going to bed. I'm sorry.
So we won't be doing any of that. We're just going to stream for a little bit. We'll talk about RippaZine. We'll talk about Zalen. We'll talk about some other some fun stuff that we're doing here at the Rippaverse as well. But we're not going to be here for 5 hours. How long that is. So I appreciate y'all nonetheless for all the love and support that you have shown. It's been a pretty crazy week for us, and this is a great way to cap this off. So I'm going to show y'all some stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just go right into the RippaZine issue number 3.
My babies.
Yes. And I know you're passionate about these characters, and I'm really glad that we can get this thing going as well. Like, I'm really excited for people to get the book. Now, RippaZine, let me get some live numbers because it's closing in on 4th. Oh wow! Oh yeah, we're about to beat that. It's 3,987 total books sold. So yeah, we're gonna cross that mark. Remember, you can become a member, and this is also a good time to test the hero stash. So you can become a member for just $5, and with that, you can redeem it for no extra charge. You can redeem the base issue of the RippaZine, but of course, if you want to get the collector's edition, you can grab that as well. Okay, Carrow, I'm going to give you the floor here because this is a different story as far as the stories that we've told, the sort of ragtag kind of story. But it did seem like a lot of people were intrigued by it. What was going through your mind? I guess actually, let me take a step back. You want to explain to the people what Dirty Deeds is generally without spoiling it, what it's about first.
Well, it is a space ragtag group. It is actually inspired by a lot of sci-fi things that my father and I really liked. You'll find the DNA of a lot of like really fun things that are going to be in here. So in some ways, this is kind of like a little love letter to my father because a little bit of background is that my father and I like came from like a traumatic experience. And when we were trying to figure things out, it was actually sci-fi that brought us together, that gave us a common language. So when I put this together, I did it with a lot of like those things that we really liked in mind. And I also tried to do it in a way that kind of sparked conversation because like one of the things that would happen is that we would watch Star Trek and then we would have like a conversation about like that particular episode in there and some of the stuff that would happen. So I wanted to create characters in hopes that when people would look at it, they would be kind of like, you know, I'm okay with that, but that was like maybe not an okay thing. And then like they could talk about with like their kids and stuff like that. So you'll find stuff in there that I really like. And I know some people have kind of said, well, this looks like that and this looks like that. You're kind of right, but it's my take on it. So it's going to look like something, but it's mine.
Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I remember you pitching the idea to me in and of itself, and I was like, yeah, that's a great time to test this thing out. Is the RippaZine, right? And it looks like the at least general intrigue. Obviously, we're going to know some more information once we start sending out the polls, kind of like what we've done with the other RippaZines. And all that. I have no doubt that people are going to love this story, but just people seeing the characters and seeing the actual trailer, a lot of people are loving what they're seeing. It is, I don't want to say off brand for the Rippaverse because I mean, that's the point. We are going to be telling these different stories. They'll expand various genres, right? And that was to be expected. So this is just more of us, of course, grabbing or like trying to get our foot in here because we're still in the very like beginning stages of the company. I know it seems like we've been around for a bit, but really we haven't. Not even 3 years yet. So this is just another story.
We should do something for Rippaverse Day.
We should do something fun this year. 3-year anniversary for sure. We're gonna do something very fun. But yeah, you pitched the idea. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like I said, we're gonna get some more audience feedback once this stuff starts to ship out. But you are not a rookie when it comes to being an author. You've been one for a while. And yeah, like I love that this is kind of the introduction that the audience gets, at least for you. I would argue that we probably should have had Carrow doing stuff long before now, right? Because she's really good. She's been working with me, if you guys don't know, even since before the Rippaverse. So it's not like we didn't know at all, but she does have her hands in a lot of different things. Okay. And this was a perfect time for her. Let's get her a story. And I love that people are loving this. Let's talk about like the characters out of this that you created. One of which has already become become a bit of a favorite already. They love him. And shout out to Kanan for doing this artwork of him. But yeah, you got some, I mean, very different characters. And I guess that's the point, right? With this being this ragtag sort of team, you have characters that they're not really all that similar. They may have a common kind of theme, but they're really different. So what was going through your head creating these characters?
So there was a couple of different concepts that I really liked in certain shows, and it was kind of like, I really like this, but what if, right? And so you'll like maybe one day when we have a spoiler stream, I can really kind of like dive deeper into that. So I wanted to play around with those concepts. Spingy in particular is actually, he was created because like the one thing I've always known that happens within sci-fi is that like female readers are really attracted to like the cute, smart, like characters, right? And so I wanted to make one, and making Spendy just seemed like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Especially because when I talked to Evan Scale, who's the artist for this, he was like, well, what do you want to do with this? And I was like, I want it cute, and I want it creepy, and I want it to one day be a plushie. And he was like, I got you.
That's it.
Yeah. Right. And so he made it thinking that we'll make a plushie of it one day. And that's like my subtle hint, right? Yeah. And then the Lady Bossy Butt, that's a smart idea from my father, because he's like, look, you can put a sexy elf in anything and it will sell. And I was like, let's test that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we did there. And then the driver, the narrator of the trailer that we had, whose voice, are we allowed to say who voiced it? Can we do that?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So Joshua Quinn, who voiced the narrator for the trailer, I wanted to bring back like the sexy Gambit thing, because the one thing I've kind of noticed in like this kind of like woke era that we're kind of moving out of is that there was a big hate on for those kind of characters, and I personally love them. I have like the female gaze, and so I was like, we're just gonna put that back, right? So that character's for me. I'm really sorry, guys. I made it for me, not for you. If you don't like it, that's fine. It's okay. So
I love that.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome, and he killed it. Big shout out. And you were very much involved, and that was cool. To have you involved in that. I mean, you're involved the same way that some of the other writers were, right? When I'm trying to grab these voice actors and voice actresses, I'm really getting feedback from the writers themselves, because we want to make sure that we're getting somebody that nails that particular character, right? And this was someone that you picked out yourself. So this is what I love about it. It's really, really seeing your vision come to life, and it was awesome trailer. Of course, our team, Jordan, all those guys and gals, they do a great job of the editing of our like trailers and stuff. But I really loved how all of this sort of turned out, because like I said, it is very much different from what we've put out before. And it's also, and people, once they read it, it'll make a little more sense. But it really, there's a lot of like, how do I explain this? Once people read it, their minds are going to be jogging other places, because it does open up some other things as far as stuff that we're going to be doing, right? And potential as to not just their character development. Of course, that's going to inevitably happen should we continue their stories. But I'm just speaking more so for the universe and what this type of story means for our universe and where it can go. I think a lot of people are going to thoroughly enjoy this stuff, and definitely now between, obviously we've Zalen is like the cosmic.
Oh yeah. Thanks for letting me come out before Zalen, by the way. That would have been...
Yeah, because and that's why I brought that up, because I don't want people to think like this is like Zalen, because it's not. It's not anything close. This is far more. It feels more contained than what a Zalen is. Where Zalen, obviously, it's a little more. It's just big, right? It's just epic, right?
It's like comparing like a C-130 to like soldiers on the ground. Like it's a very different thing. Yeah. Very, very, very different thing. And we just got news, and I don't know if hey, I see Andrew, if you don't mind pinging our dev to have them. I don't know if one of our devs are watching this cash update, because we just hit 4,000 total books sold for RippaZine issue number 3. So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. I did say we were going to hit that pretty early on. Thank you so much. $92,000 in total sales. But the important thing is we're getting these books sold. 4,000 for it. That's for a magazine. So thank y'all so much. We appreciate you. You're going to love Dirty Deeds. I absolutely promise that you will. But big shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. So yeah, thank you.
It very much is a very different story from Zalen, though. Yeah, they're taking places different spots, right? It's not we're expanding, right? It's not just simply about what's happening in Flores Park. There's other places in this universe. So, but this is very much contained, far more contained than what a Zalen is. A lot of different things happening with Zalen. So keep
that scale's very different. Like in my ideal world, maybe there'll be like a crossover where like my crew's like, oh god, it's that thing, and they run away.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, it's fun. The awesome thing though, and I'm not like leaking or NDA and anything, Chuck did love seeing Dirty Deeds.
He did.
He did. He did love seeing Dirty Deeds. He was like, oh, as soon as I saw that, I thought that was really, really cool. So we'll see what happens as we get feedback from the actual store. We'll see what happens and all of the other fun stuff that we're gonna do. So I'm
excited.
I'm excited too. I'm very, very, very excited. So just to kind of get people to know you a lot more, you've been behind the scenes for a long time. You've been helping with the editorial process as well. If you don't mind just kind of letting people know kind of what your contributions, because it's not just like you're simply a writer, your contributions to the Rippaverse go well beyond that. Like I said, you've been working with me long before even the Rippaverse became a thing. So if you want, just let everybody know kind of what all you do for us here.
I'm trying to visualize like that gift that goes everything.
Yeah.
So I guess we can go back to the origin of when you and I met, when you were streaming pretty much every day. And what happened is I got off work because I was still teaching at the time, got into a fight with another teacher because I was like, listen, there's just too many Spider-Man. There just feels like weak writing and stuff like that. And she and I like had a big back and forth. And like any sane person, when I got home, I was like, I cannot be alone in my thoughts. Somebody out there has to agree with me. And then I found your channel and you were like, there's too many fucking Spider-Man. I was like, that's it. That's my guy right there. Right. And then you had a stream one day, and then I was just like, I just donated $20. Like, hey man, like, thanks for saying these things so I don't feel crazy. And then you like winked at the camera. I was like, this guy's smooth.
Yeah.
And then we became friends, and then you noticed that I did like organization and I did writing and stuff like that. So one day you were like, maybe you can help me with some of this admin stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. You want me to go through your email? That's great. I go through your email all the time. I blinked this morning, you had 50 new emails. 50.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is insane. And it's just got, obviously, the more success we have, the worse it gets. But yeah, thank you for doing that, because holy cow.
You're welcome. But I ended up switching jobs at one point, and I worked for a game company that was based out of Canada for a little while. And this was when you were working on, ISO #1, like you were scripting it and stuff like that. And you had sent me a message in Teams, and you were kind of like, hey, do you think you can take Monday off because I'm going to launch my comic? And I was like, yeah, sure, of course I can, right? Taking, the day off from my main job to come work my side gig. It's totally normal, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And my boss actually knew who you were. So he was like, oh yeah, go do what you got to do. And so ISO 1 happened. And my boss, like halfway through the day, was like, how's it going? So I started sending him like all the news articles and stuff like that. And he was like, I'll see you next week. And I was like, yeah, you'll see me next week. So, and then when you were kind of like, hey, I need you full time, I just went to him. I was like, you've got my 30 days. And they were like, okay, that's cool. And I'll tell you what, they got those 30 days out of me, man. I was like,
I bet.
Yeah, they did.
They got every bit of that. Yep.
Yeah. And so outside of that story, I've kind of helped with a lot of like the infrastructure and the organization. So like the chats and stuff like that. And then I was mostly assisting with trying to build the foundation of the company, because I did not want this to be like a one-time shot thing. I wanted us to have everything that we needed to be here for like, 50 years. Right. As the twins like to say, they want to be old ladies talking about how they've been here since the beginning. And I wanted to do that too. Right.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then at one point it was kind of like, hey, can you start like assisting with editing? I was like, oh, I've been waiting for this day. Yes, I would love to help you. So I would, just kind of, I don't want to step on like lead editor toes because that's their job, but I would like go through and ask like questions or find typos or fix stuff, just little tiny things. But outside of that stuff, I work a lot with the copy on the website too. So like a bunch of those product descriptions, like I assist with those. So when they look like they're worded weirdly, you can tell me and I'll fix it.
Yep.
I will.
Yep. She will. That she will do. So.
Yeah. And then outside of that, I'll pretty much do anything you want, include like drive a truck for 6 hours to San Antonio.
Yeah, you've done that as well. That's she is our workhorse. Meaning that sincerely. She's been here from the get-go. Since we started. I don't think I've ever even publicly stated this, but the template that we use for our universe Bible entry was built by Carrow.
It was.
So there's a template that we have that, basically lists all the basic information that we need to be putting in each individual entry. And Carrow was the one that built that template and what have you. So Yeah, she's been here from the jump. Like, and look, there's a lot of people that are here with the Rippaverse that have been here for a long time, but she has been here even before. Like, she was there during the time that, again, you guys didn't even know about it. Didn't even know about the Rippaverse. And I was still, it was just like an idea kind of kicking around in my head. And we were getting ISOM done, and you guys didn't know about ISOM obviously until we finally launched the company. But she had been there from the get-go. So what's been awesome is obviously, you know, we have someone that gets it, right? I don't have to explain much because she's totally understanding of what we're trying to accomplish here. She also treats the company with care. Like, she cares about a lot of what's happening here, obviously, and it shows in her work. And having someone here that is extremely valuable, that they don't just treat this like this is a job, right? Just another job. This is something that they have a lot of investment in, and they treat it with a lot of care. And it's easy to, you know, work hard for something.
I need to stream with you more, because like these compliments, like they're really good to me. They're really good. Like, can we do this, like, you know, like, I don't know, quarterly?
Yeah, I got you. I'll make sure.
Okay,
I'll make
thank
sure
you. I'm really liking this.
We'll do the entire like quarterly review. We'll do it live.
Yeah, let's do it
live on stream. That works. But no, seriously, she's been a workhorse for us, and obviously I appreciate everything that she does here for us. But it is awesome to get her involved in, because she's been, like I say, behind the scenes, some of the editing stuff as well. But really having her be involved in a lot of the creative stuff as far as like new content that we're creating has been awesome, because she is a talented author as well. So I'm glad that we're finally, this is going to be the first of many stories that she's going to get the opportunity to tell. And I know you're going to love this story. Everybody that's read Dirty Deeds and saw it, Evan done some lovely work with the artwork on it. So people that have seen this are having a lot of fun with it. So appreciate y'all coming out and showing a lot of love. So what I want to do, just really quick, in fact, let me see if I can, let me actually pull this up real quick. And what I'm going to do is see if I can, I don't know how big this video, dang, it's just, I mean, I could technically bounce the video to compress it so everybody could see it, but I'm not, because I end up crashing my unit. So I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Long story short, we have this new feature called the Hero Stash. Okay.
Yes.
So basically, what the Hero Stash is it is our version of it's not quite layaway, but what you're able to do with the Hero Stash, there's been a lot of people asking for this, is that we're putting out a lot. Okay, we're at the point where pretty much a couple of times a week or a month, we're putting something new out, okay, for you guys to buy. Now we have what is known as the Hero Stash, and this allows you to purchase and basically delay your shipping. So once you buy whatever item that you want to buy, books, doesn't matter, you buy that item, and at checkout, you're going to see as one of the shipping options. And of course, you need to be logged into your account, but you're going to see one of the shipping options, and one of those shipping options will be add to Hero Stash. Okay. And once you press that, there's a video that is on this channel, on the Rippaverse channel, that we shared out that Gothix did. She walks you through everything. Okay. So if I'm not explaining this well, just go refer to that video. We got visuals and everything. But you'll add that to your Hero Stash. In the like account little dashboard, you'll see the Hero Stash, and that'll have all your orders, okay, that you've added obviously to that Hero Stash. Okay. So whenever you're ready to start shipping, what you can do is consolidate all those orders that you bought individually and basically ship them all at once as part of one big package. The advantage of this is that you're not having to pay constantly for shipping, right? It's a no-brainer for you guys. That now, look, it's a little different if you're like, I want to make sure I get my stuff first. That's a different animal. But for you guys that are like, oh, I'm okay with a week after, it's whatever, just get me the books. Okay. This is a great option. It's going to save you a lot of money If that way you're not like shipping every time we buy something. Now, if you do have one of our higher memberships, you don't even have to worry about that because you have free shipping, or at least up to like depending on forget which one where it's like you get like up to over $75. You'll get free shipping either way. That said, the great way to save a lot of money. Okay, so check that out. I know this is something that a lot of people ask for, especially your international customers. That's been a hiccup for a lot of you. It's not that you didn't want to support us. It's that it's hard to justify having to, definitely if you live in one of the more, I don't want to call your country obscure, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's not like UK or Canada or Australia where we have these different programs. It's you might be living in somewhere in Scandinavia or whatever, and the shipping definitely with duties and all that stuff, it can start getting up there, and you don't want to every time a book comes out, you don't want to be paying that. Well, now you can just put them in the Hero Stash. And by the way, that shipping, obviously, you're not paying shipping when you add it to the Hero Stash. You wouldn't pay the shipping until you consolidate everything, and then pay for it there. And again, as all part of one big package. We'll make sure that we get everything to you. So yeah,
it has a 90-day limit on it. So
keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. It does have a 90-day limit, which is plenty of time. But if you have like 90-day limit to get these. But yes, this is a great opportunity for you guys that I know. I get messages all the time. It's like, I want to support it. I want to reserve a book. Some have even missed out on certain covers because they cannot justify constantly having to pay for international shipping each time. Now, again, we do have special programs for at least just our books. We have special programs for Australia, UK, and Canada. But if you're not there, and look, we're trying to expand our presence. We're working on it. If you're not there, then, I get it. Okay, but it's all good. We got the Hero Stash. I know a lot of people are going to be leaning on this. There was a lot of people asked for this type of thing. And we'll continue to promote it because I know that there's a lot of folks that aren't going to know this exists. So be sure to tell your friends, especially your international ones. Be sure to let them know that this is something that they can get in on. So
I'm really glad that we're doing this because you guys, I know you guys don't see a lot of like what we do, but like every time we meet with like one of our shipping providers, like one of the very first things Eric always brings up is like we have to do something for the international people, right? He's brought it up every time. Like I can pull up every meeting note. It's at the first thing he comes out of his mouth. Like my international people, like I have to do something for them, right? No. And outside of us buying warehouses in like every country, like they've always been kind of like, there's nothing you can do. And like I'll tell you guys something. When Eric gets like a thought, it's like he has like this moment where he like looks off to the side and then he like focuses again. And I'm always kind of like, what the fuck were we just talking about? Because that's going to become a thing, right? Every time. Yeah.
I'm just conceptualizing the pitch in my head, and I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna figure out how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna pull it off. And look, with this company, obviously, e-commerce is something that we focus on. That yes, we do appear in person. Yes, we go to cons, and yes, there are some stores that have our books, but a lot of it's e-commerce. So I recognize that. We got to get our international stuff in order. We have to get our international stuff in order. And that's what we did. We worked hard to make sure that we got something like that. Our devs worked hard to get the functionality because it's kind of quirky and stuff. It's like, okay, but and Carrow, again, talking about how she does everything. She was very much a part of that process and testing it, like, because you never know what you don't know what you don't know, right? It is kind of how this operates. So if you can have all these ideas, but once you start testing it, you're like, well, we got to consider that. We got to consider that. And we got to consider that. And that's what Carrow is very much a part of that process. And then the devs will go back and say, okay, I get it. We need this notification here. We got to add this, make sure this functionality doesn't conflict with this one. And she's very much a part of that process. And sometimes you guys are as well, because we'll roll something out and then we'll start getting some tickets and people are like, well, what about this? And I'm like, okay, well, maybe we didn't consider that. And then we get back to the drawing board and devs start coming up with some sort of solution. So yeah,
I just try to break the website. That's what I do. When you're like, go test it. I'm like, let's see if I can break it. Let's see what I can do. Let's go, guys. Yeah.
That's pretty much what this is. Like, it's just trying to break it. Kara's in the chat. She's part of that process a lot as well. So yeah, we're always trying to consider everything. Carrow's a part of that process. You guys are a part of that process, and I'm glad that so many of you are absolutely loving this hero stash as well. So before we go on, because I know I got a bunch of super chats, like a bunch of super chats. I'd
Oh
rather
no,
y'all
how
just
terrible super chats.
I know,
You guys
right?
love us.
But
Stop
you could buy
it.
books with that money. Don't forget that. So but we did launch Zalen as well. And thank you all for that love that you have shown. I'm gonna get some live numbers for you. I know we were closing in on 2,500 books.
Space Daddy, I'm so here for it.
So yes, we're at basically 2,400 books sold already, day one. So thanks to you all. We have the second Art of Joe Bennett that's available here. More covers, more throwback covers. You guys love those. You got, of course, the Caden shirts as well as the poster. This is very much a Chuck. Like some people are saying that. And look, I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, yeah, this is the best, because everybody has their favorites and stuff. But one of the consists like internally, a lot of people who are more objective are like, this is like their favorite. This is like the best looking book that we put out. Obviously, Chuck and Joe, Fabio Jansen as well. It's the same exact team that did Horseman. There is just a different colorist as well. And I think with this type of book, obviously, Marcos Martins, he does such a phenomenal job in really capturing those cosmic moments, right? Which is basically the entire book. Yeah. But it is a different book. And he was a perfect colorist for it. He's also the colorist for Norfolka, so big shout out to him. But yeah, this book came out amazing. Absolutely incredible how this book came out. And I know you are going to absolutely love it. It's a 45-day collection. This is day one. So be sure to go grab that. If you have not already, you can get this. But in your hero stash, if you want to put this in your hero stash and the RippaZine in your hero stash, go for it. Go for it. This is your thing. So
you have my permission. Go ahead and do it. It's
yes,
fine.
Please. So yes, we got, of course, another Flex Fit hat as well. We're gonna have a lot of fun, guys. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. We got plenty of time, 45 days. Be sure to add this to your hero stash and whatnot. And thanks to you all. By the way, if you're hanging out with us, thumbs the video up. We appreciate that so much. Zalen's. Well, this is going to close, not Zalen, but RippaZine will be closing tonight. Zalen and ISOM 3 will be the two active collections that we have. So big shout out to Chuck Dixon, Joe Bennett, Fabio Jansen, as well as Marcos Martins, and of course our pre-press letterer team. They always do a phenomenal job. You're going to absolutely love it. And yeah, I'm glad that we're finally getting to that cosmic spot. And I know a lot of people have been looking sort of forward to that. All right, so what I am going to do, let me make sure I have everything that I need. Here I do. Okay, beautiful. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, we're having a little fun. I'm going to get to some of these super chats. We have Juicy Thunderpants becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate that. We got Barbecue Pits with a 10, says, bro, Bloodruth is fire, but I already told you that I damn near spent $2,000 on Rippaverse products within the past month. Well, shout out. Just clearly rehab isn't working. Shout out, fam. Can't wait for my statue. Yes, that's another thing.
They're getting it now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're getting the statue right now. I should have brought it in with me. It's actually in the other room.
Just do chair stream. Do a chair stream.
Yeah, let me go grab actually.
Yeah.
I'll let Carrow occupy y'all real quick. I'm going to go grab the Irish statue. So y'all hold on.
OG guys, the chair. All hail the chair. Hail. Sorry, that's a joke because he used to just get up and leave the room like in the beginning. And sometimes like he would be talking to like his friend at the door. So we would all be sitting there for like 20 minutes looking at his chair. So that's pretty much what happened. But hi guys, thanks for being here. Thank you for the super chats. It's so awesome. What book do you guys think is going to come out next? I've seen you guys talk about it in the Discord, but I haven't heard the chat. So let's take a look here. Let's see. Mutiny in the chat. ISOM 4. McFarlane Toys, Isom 3. Isom 3 is already out. It's not.
All right, guys.
We started the worship of the chair again, like we used to.
Oh, the chair. Nice. All right, so this is what has been shipping. Again, barbecue pits. I appreciate that 10. Let me
be big. Let's see it.
Yeah, let's check this. Let's check this out.
I boss everyone around. You too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Look at that. Look at that.
She's beautiful, just like her riders.
Right. Check this out. And yeah, it is insane in person. And I don't know. I saw some people, like, I don't know what they thought the scale was, but there were some people that may have been confused. But yeah, it's pretty big, right? It's a pretty big statue. It's a 6 scale statue. Give a big shout out to McFarlane Toys. This thing, it ain't light, by the way. But no, this thing turned out phenomenal. Okay, I have to give a big shout out to McFarlane. And I don't want to name the individual because I don't think they want to be named. All the people like work for them individually, but the process was about as smooth as one could go. We love working with them. We have some other stuff that we will be talking about maybe soon here in the future. But McFarlane Toys did a wonderful job on this statue. This is a lovely statue. At some point, I have probably it back there. But I was showing it off, of course, in some of my other videos. But
even that base is detailed.
Yeah, the base is detailed as well.
I haven't seen it like that. I know it's in your office. I just didn't want to invade your space.
Yeah. But yeah, this came out incredible. We'll have some more videos. I know the team's been working on some videos as well, so you can really show it off. But yeah, this thing is not a joke. It is about as legit as I couldn't be any happier with how this actually turned out. I mean, just the details, even of her hair, that's one of the key details with the Yaira is, her hair tips and how those can start to change color. And it captured all of that. Like, it's as detailed as it gets. It is amazing.
That's like the stuff I used to buy in Japan. Because I used to collect figures in Japan. It's got like that high quality detail. It's
legit. It is legit. So you can still grab. We don't have a bunch of them left, but we do still have some left. So make sure that you grab these if you have not already. And again, thanks to McFarlane. I don't even know where I'm going to put this because this thing is massive and I got stuff all over my desk.
You can put it next to Gogeta in your background.
Yeah, that's eventually where it's going to end up going. I got to clear that. I have the Lamborghini, the Rippaverse that Bruce sent right next to Gogeta, and right out of the frame, you see Donatello. So I'm gonna put it over there somewhere at some point. So is the print number on the bottom? Yes, the print number is on the bottom. We're sending those in order upon which they were ordered. So yes, the print number is on the bottom, just like you would anticipate of many of the other, like just this market, just the general market. So go grab that. I see Epic Mike's in the chat as well. So big shout out to him. Shout out Mike. So yeah, we still have some left. They're still going out. These are massive. I know a lot of people are seeing those boxes because even I did. It was crazy when the boxes got here. I was like, there's got to be like 3 statues in a damn box. And I was like, no, it's just one per. The box is also lovely. For you all that's seen it, the box art is original as well. Shout out Will Conrad. Some of Will Kanan's art is on that you've already seen, but there's some new art that you hadn't seen, which we were gonna end up using for a cover, but we used for this, and that's some of Will Conrad's Yaira art. So yeah, love that. I have
seen the box. The box is very beautiful.
Box is phenomenal. So go check that out. You can still grab it right now. If it's something that you want to put in your hero stash, you can go grab that right now. And we do have not only just buy now, ship later, like with our hero stash, but we also have the buy now, sort of pay later situation with Sezzle. So if you are a domestic, we'll work it. See, the problem with these buy now, pay later things, I know some other international customers have been asking for that. And I'm with you on that. I would love to make something like that happen. The problem with that is it requires so much of us to have something like that exist in your country. Well, we basically have to set up shop in the country.
Yeah.
Similar to what we have done. So I would say it's going to be easier to do that with a like UK or Canada or Australia, where we already have a presence there. But yeah, they want you to have even if it's available in your country, they want you to have a presence in that country to have an option like that. And I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with something like y'all's laws and just random stuff like that. So yeah, I'm having a blast nonetheless. I'm glad that some of y'all are loving these statues or that statue, because not too long you're going to be able to get the ISOM statue by Iron Studios, which I haven't set up. I have the box in there. I haven't set it up yet and shown that off. That will start shipping as well. So yeah,
my favorite part of the ISOM statue is that we didn't tell Kanan we were using his cover for it, so he found out. Yeah, he was so happy.
Yeah, he is awesome. We're gonna make sure he gets one too, because it very much was obviously inspired by him. So he's gonna reap the benefits from it. So big shout out to Kanan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Velvet Room Publishing with a 10 says, got my Yaira statue today, number 93, and it's epic. Getting Great War Separation tomorrow, reviewing both tomorrow. Shout out Velvet Room Publishing. You should follow him. He does some great work. See him on Twitter, doing his thing. I know there's been a lot of people asking about like some of the like forums and stuff that we want to do with the memberships, and we're working on all that. Right. We wanted to get this stuff rolled out first. We got Zalen Launch and some of our the things that we'll be focusing on for the next couple of weeks or so. It will be like membership stuff now. The Hero Stash is live. So yeah, you won't have to wait long for that. But Velvet Room Publishing does some phenomenal work. So be sure to holler at him if you have not already. We got Jake with a 2, says, I am so hyped for this story. Yes, you're gonna love RippaZine, or Dirty Deeds rather. You're gonna absolutely love it. Of course, there's some other fun things. There's also previews. How can we forget that? It's gonna be your first glimpse at ISOM 3 as well. So be sure to go grab that there. Okay, we have my man's ACK bass player with a 2 months. We're getting more super chats not get on my channel. So yeah, well, maybe we just stream over at Rippaverse from now on. And I would honestly prefer.
This is because we're doing my performance feedback. That's
why.
That's
true. That's a bingo. So we're gonna bring Carrow on more often. I won't be boring y'all with politics and those nonsense that we talk about on my channel, and we'll just have some fun over here at Rippaverse. How about that? I think that's the move. HDK bass player with a 2 month says, I'm gonna need War of Separation 2 ASAP, bro. It is by far my favorite so far. I've loved everything about it, but this book, hot damn. I'm glad you're loving it. Obviously, this is a limited series. You're not gonna have to wait long for number 2, which you're going to absolutely love. For number 2, we'll do some spoiler talk soon enough for that, because those books they just started going out, and I'm loving seeing the pictures. And this is what I love, right? We've sped up our release schedule. Stuff is starting to fulfill. So even as we're launching this new thing with Zalen, and now we got RippaZine closed, now people are also getting other books, right? So we get to have fun and talk about that. So it's always something new that's going on, and I'm glad that all of you are having some fun there. So appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Johnny Rocket says, with a 10, when's Larry Shungai? There must be some op going on with that. And I know this is a troll, by the way, because I got from the usual suspects, oddly enough, I got people asking about Larry Shungai. So there's some sort of op. They must have got some direction.
Are you being mean?
Yeah, I know, right? So it must be something going on. I wonder what it is. Actually, I really don't care, to be completely honest. We got Cherokee with a 5 says, hi, Carrow and Rip. I think Carrow has the perfect voice for a femme fatale in the verse. Not that I read the books. Oh yeah, no, right? Nobody does. But yeah, so Cherokee, I appreciate that 5. Carrow's awesome. And maybe there is some opportunities for her to do some voice stuff. We'll see.
It'll be the credits of like buy more so I can keep my job. Yeah. I really like working here, guys. Like, please buy shit. Thank you.
Please. We'd appreciate that.
You can clip that.
Yes. Balder said with a 200 viewers, all the rest on layaway. This is about where we float at on this Rippaverse channel. So no. And remember, it's about the books, right? It's not, I mean, we stream, we want to connect with all of our audience. and what have you, right? That's what it's about. That's why we do these types of things. But as we close in on almost 300 viewers here, which appreciate that. At the end of the day, it's about making sure the books are in hand and we're having some fun. Okay, that's what this is about. It's I'd rather have someone brought this up yesterday. It's like one of was I can't remember if it's Scott Snyder or somebody. I think he brought up. It's like he had like 3 viewers in his chat, like, but everybody knows who he is, and everybody's gonna buy his books, especially with the mainstream stuff. So, look, we'd rather you buy books. We're not here to just put on shows just for the sake of lining our pockets. It's about the books here, so we appreciate that. That's what we're here for. Ninja Stewart with a 10 says, I just want to say thank you for all the hard work you're all doing. I really appreciate the escapism, immersion, cool characters, designs, and stories. Keep up the great work. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And that's what we're always working hard to give you that, of course, that escapism. I know I dab definitely on my channel into some other stuff, like random stuff, but most of our time is spent building the Rippaverse, and it's very centric to the universe and really making sure that we're giving you this fun sandbox to play in. That's what it's about. So we appreciate you. I'm glad that you are enjoying yourselves, and this is why we want to even continue to kind of evolve that experience as well. That's why the memberships are we're going to be doing some fun things there. So yeah.
For the 10 quid, that was really nice.
Yeah, much love to you. We have the Giltman Returns with a 5 says, thank you for doing the Hero Stash. I appreciate it, and thank you for the response on your tweet. Love the Crow for a Cure shirt. Much love. Yeah, I try to keep tabs on that, and so does my team. I'm not the only person that is obviously logged into my social media account. I pay guys good money to look at that stuff as well. But yeah, a lot of times you're tagging us about like website stuff, or you got questions about this functionality. And look, when we can catch those, we want to make sure that we let you guys know, or at least send you in the right direction. Maybe that's a question for Carrow. We need to put in a ticket or something like that. So thanks to you. And of course, big shout out to everybody that's supporting Jordan, supported Jordan with the Crow for Cure shirt.
Thank you, friends. It means a lot.
As well as everybody.
Answer sucks.
Yeah, it does. So screw it. As well as everybody that bought the or bought into her gifts and go. We appreciate y'all. She appreciates y'all. So thank you so much. Johnny Red with a 20, no message. Shout out Johnny Red. Appreciate that.
He kicked down those saloon doors and saluted and walked the fuck out.
Walk just cocky as ever. I respect it. You got to. Marcus Henry with a 5 said, one thing that's underrated about the Rippaverse is its ability to innovate and adjust in real time. Very innovative company for the indie industry. Well, yeah, we invest a lot. Well, all of the money for the most part is reinvestment, like especially this early on, right, in the company. We understand that there's a lot that we are trying to figure out. There's a lot of new things that we're going to test out. Some will be hits, others won't. But we're going to always be trying to sort of innovate. And yes, that's why things like the Hero Stash exist. That's why some of the programs that we have for some of our international customers in our 3 biggest international countries. And while we're always trying to update the functionality of the actual website, that's all part of it. I mean, it is e-commerce at the end of the day, and it's a lot more that goes into this than just sitting here sitting on a stream, right? It's a whole lot more that goes into it. It's not just as simple as that, right? So we want to make sure that we're being forward thinking in the website, because that's where 90-something% of the transactions are taking place. So we're going to always be working hard on that. So we appreciate y'all for bearing with us. And we appreciate, more importantly, the feedback, right? Because a lot of this stuff comes up because you guys are reaching out. You're giving us great ideas. There's a problem even in some cases. And we're trying to find a solution there. And it takes a lot of creativity. It's not as simple as, push a button and then there it is. There's some dev work that goes, a lot of back end dev work that goes in, even to something like the Hero Stash. That took some time. It took some dev work to really make happen, because it's not easy. So I want to give a big shout out to our team here, like Carrow and her team, but also obviously our devs who do a phenomenal job and try and just making sure the site's steady. Because remember, that was a pain point early on with the company, right? Server issues and all of that. We've got all of that taken care of, but it also is, while I get it, the attraction of like using someone else's platform or like going on another platform and just housing your store there. The awesome thing about having everything housed, though it doesn't require a lot of work, and it especially requires a lot of front end development, as in like not literally front end development. I'm speaking more so like you're going to drop a lot of money initially just to get it all functioning the proper way. I love having our own website on servers and all that stuff because we can do things like the hero stash, where if we can conceptualize it, we can try to make this thing happen. And this is, I know people think that I'm just talking out of my tail when I always say, you know, I'm trying to enhance the customer experience all the time with the Rippaverse. The hero stash is an example of that. It's all, and it's not a thing that like one thing. It's a thing that's always constantly happening with the company. We're always trying to find something new and innovative to do. So,
you know, one thing, since we're doing feedback, I'll give you feedback.
Please.
So one of the things that I've always I had to learn to pivot when I came to work for you, because you don't do things the way that other industry people do. And so sometimes you'd be like, I'm gonna try this thing. And I was like, wow, I don't know if that's gonna work because nobody's tried it. And then like in some places, people would be like, it's not been tried. We don't have focus groups. We don't have anything. You're like, fuck it, right? And you just go and do it anyway, right? Yeah. We're gonna try it and we're gonna figure it out. But I think in that way, like that's really like how you've been able to like pioneer and try things. And sometimes you'll look at something and say like, you know, that worked for that guy, but you know, how can I apply it to what we're doing right now? Or, you know, or can it apply, you know, stuff like that. And the only reason I bring that up is because every time you try and do something that's not, you know, what other people have done, like that's the first thing that they usually try and attack you. It's like, oh, they're not doing it the way that we would want, or the way that it's been done for a while. And it's like, I'm sorry, things change. And it's not, if you want to like break the mold and you want to try something else, you should just give it a shot, because at worst it won't work and at best it will succeed. Right.
Perfect put.
Yeah. And so I wanted to tell you that, because in some cases, like, you know, every time you try and do something, like I'll be like, man, that makes me nervous. I've never seen it done before. And then I'll just kind of quietly wait and see what happens. And like, I'm pretty confident like the hero stash is just going to do exceptionally well. And it's for the betterment of like our customers too, which I really wish people would realize that, because every time we do something, they always think that we're doing it to like buy Lamborghinis. You and I are still driving the same used car.
Same car. I have not bought any new car. I'm still driving the same. People, I pull up to events or I pull up to somewhere, and even my own employees are like, why are you still driving that car? It works, damn it. It works. But yeah, to your point, we're not like flipping the money to just like go splurge or something like that. That's not the point here. The point is that a lot of that, almost all of it, is being like reinvested into the company for things like this, right? It was never a get rich quick scheme for any of us that have been here from the get-go. That was not the point. Like I started this company, and look, I get it. There were always going to be people that liked or didn't like, as with any creative thing that you do. There were going to be people that maybe weren't fans of some of the things that we were doing as far as like creative content or whatever. But that said, it's like I'm invested in this, and we're showing that we're invested in this by reinvesting constantly into this company. And yeah, we're always trying new things, but yeah, it's not just that. Not only is it like just trying new things, it's also like you bring up a great point with the ability to pivot, right? And we will do some, and there's been plenty of things that we've done where we're like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. And we'll just say, so just like we can implement something, we could say, we want to, let's backtrack, roll that back, do a different version of that, maybe go back to the drawing board. And that's what I love so much about this company and what we're attempting to do here. And that it's not just static. It's not just because someone else does a thing, we have to do it. It's not just, okay, we tried a new thing and now we got to commit to it for the rest of time. No, it's, we will do something. We'll give it a shot. We'll take our feedback. We'll adjust it if we need to. We'll scrap it if we need to. Whatever we need to do to give our customers the best experience that we possibly can. That's what we're going to do here. And I love this about the company so much. And we have a lot of fun. That's part of the fun. It's like a puzzle. You're trying to put this bad boy together. There can be some level of complexity to it. And like I said, not every part is going to fit, you know, and we recognize that. Sometimes we scrap it, but at the end of the day, it is about really making sure that we enhance the customer experience, you know, the best way we possibly can. Carrow's been there from the get-go. She's seen when we started the first little website that we had, Rippaverse, and all that, and the issues that came from that to the.
That's when I first saw the twinkle in your eye, because when we first started talking about you doing the comic, you were like, "Can you research these crowdfunding websites?" And so, like, I grabbed 5, and then I started talking to you about like hidden fees and stuff like that are on the websites, and you're like. And you were like, "Is there a way to get around that?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, if you host it on your own website, there won't be fees." And like that was the twinkle. That was when it happened. And now I was like,
I'm like, well, I can't make sense of using their stuff, so why don't we just do it ourselves? And I knew that at the time that was like, no, that's the dumbest thing that you could do. I mean, there were people that were even in the industry that were telling me like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just host it on whatever platform, have like either a store platform or a crowdfunding platform? I was like, nah, I just can't make sense of all those fees, because all those fees, all the money that I'd be saving would be stuff that I can use to reinvest in the company. And, you know, yeah, I might be paying a lot initially, but, you know, we'll make that back in no time. And yeah, it's one of the best decisions that we made was hosting everything on our own stuff, because again, it just gives us the flexibility to say, hey, we're going to come up with something like the Hero Stash.
Without it's the same thing with like Diamond. It was the same thing with Diamond, because everybody kept telling us to go with Diamond, and you were like that. It's like, and at one point we were like, it doesn't make sense because we already do what Diamond does, and they're like, but everybody goes through Diamond. It's like, and everybody can go through us. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, so why we're not gonna just go through the motion here? And again, this is something that I love so much about the company, because with each thing, that's kind of the process. It's like, can we justify it? And if we can't justify it, we don't do it. And that also includes, and I want to be very clear, and Carrow can speak to this. This also includes some stuff that I present, right? Like it's not like I don't pay these guys good money to just sit up here and just simply take orders from me. Like sometimes it'll be something, and I'll tell them, I'm pretty blunt here. I'll tell them like, I can't make sense, but I do trust y'all. And oftentimes, almost all the time, if we're being completely honest, it'll be something and it works out just fine, right? But it was also something that they came up with. And yeah, like it's not like this echo chamber of like, let's just figure things out. No, everybody wants what's best for the company. And we're always trying to come up with good ideas to better serve our customers. And that comes from everybody, right? And I love that. I love that so much about this company, because I'm always constantly learning. I'm like, all right, well, okay, why don't we do it this way? And you know, Carrow explained to him like, all right, well, I can't make sense of that. Maybe we should do it this way. I'm like, okay, that's a good point. Let's try it that way. And it works out. I'm like, okay, it was a fantastic idea. And that's just a general process of how things work around here. So big shout out to you, Marcus. Thank you.
Teamwork. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you.
Makes the dream work. We have Emily with 8-2 says happy Friday, guys. Well, thank you, Emily. Love to see you here. Larry with a 5 says reading the Great War of Separation right now. Need to step away. Hold music. Okay. Shout out to you, Larry. Love to see you here as always.
Oh yeah, business in the chat. Business.
Oh yeah, business. Type business in the chat, please. I'm sorry, I'm pretty late on that, but type business in the chat if you're live.
They were doing it without you. It's
okay, fine. Good. Y'all don't need me. Y'all already know what time it is. Mark with a 2 says, how feasible would Rippaverse fan ambassadors be? It depends on what you're meaning by that. I'm not sure. Are you talking like something like like what a lot of companies do where they have like these affiliate programs or something like that? I don't know if that's what you're talking about. And I've thought about that. People have asked about that. Like, you know, people just going out there, they have incentive to be ambassadors because they get kickbacks and all that stuff. I just don't know how that will work in comics. I mean, I see that in every other industry, so it'll probably work the exact same. Right. But I just don't know how that looks. So I haven't, it's something I pondered on, but it hadn't something
don't get that look in your eye. Don't get
that. I know, right? Because then I'm throwing something new at you. All right, guys, let's figure out this brand new thing that we're gonna do. Like, no. I haven't usually I kind of collect my thoughts here.
No, it's too late. He's gotten the thought.
No, I try to collect my thoughts and then I pitch that to the team before we start doing stuff. But so I've thought about it, but I haven't like really sat down and like looked at like how exactly would something like that work for us. But yeah, a lot of companies, pretty much every company, especially those that are involved in like e-commerce and heavily involved with like the e-commerce space, and they get streamers and all this stuff involved.
See, he's verbally processing how to do it right now.
Well, yeah, like I said, I don't know how that would look. Is the kind of like why I haven't like really just sat down and thought about that, because like it is a different industry. So how exactly would something like that even look? So I think a good start for us is to just give you guys a fun sandbox to be able to connect, especially with other fans, and that's what we're trying to do with the upcoming membership changes. So let's start there, because you're going to find a lot of ambassadors for the company there. Johnny's with a 2 says my Yara statue should be here any minute now. Excuse me. Woo. Let's go.
You're like me, like when I get a new planner, I'm like looking out the window waiting for the delivery guy to show up.
Yeah. Exciting. Okay, let's see. We have Ira with a Brownwich with a 5 says imagine Bloodroof statue next to Yaira statue. That could work. Oh, absolutely. Well, you have Yaira and then you have Isom, but yeah, doing something with Bloodroof would be really, really cool. We have Tim Allen with a 5 says, "Oh hail General Carrow of the Iron Age. You are mead worthy."
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Shout out, Tim. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Tim. Appreciate that. Mark with a 5 said for the last 2 months on ICV2 top 20 adult graphic novels list has only been manga and manhwa. How does the Rippaverse stack? I have to look up. I'm sure we'd be in there somewhere on the list, depending on what book we're talking about. Like
if they act like we exist.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But if we looked at the numbers, I'm sure. But yeah, it's at this point, at least as far as their system is concerned, you're really only going to see mangas for the most part. I mean, it's just Eastern stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. But I haven't looked at the numbers. It's been a while since I actually looked at those numbers, so I'm not sure. Willie Blackjack with a 5 says the Great War of Separation arrived earlier today, and I just finished reading it. Well done, Chuck and Rippaverse team. Well, appreciate that. Thank you.
We have the slide feedback. This is amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm glad you're loving it. It is a limited series. We have a few more issues still to go, so you're gonna have some fun. All right, we have Larry Parker with a 2. Shout out, Larry. Says love to Carrow. Excited to read your work. You're gonna love Dirty Deeds.
Yeah, I hope you do. If you don't, tell me what you don't like so I can fix it.
Yeah. We have Everett Todd with a 2 says possible Common America crossover. I don't know, but obviously we are good friends with those, or good buddies, respectable businessmen over there at Iconic. So shout out Doug, Tim, Mark, all the guys. They do a great job. So yeah. Where am I at? When will the Bloodroof spoiler stream be? I'll get with the Soskers, try to figure that out. I'll get with them and try to figure that out. But yeah, we need to make that happen. Joke man with a 2 says, when is my statue going to be made, Mr. July?
This is a fair question.
Yeah, it is a fair question.
You have to be careful, because if you put it somewhere, somebody might think it's like some kind of like totem for like a dark entity that somebody's worshiping. We'll have to put like a comic character on it or something.
True. So I don't know. I got to figure that out. Maybe that'll happen soon enough. So our man's Kanan with the Ted says, Carol, you're amazing. And what you've written so far on the Rippaverse is inspiring. Cap, you already know, man. Shout out to you, Kanan, man. We love you to death, man. You're instrumental part of this team. Love having you part of the process. Just you've been here for a while now, and man,
I just go to meetings to see Kanan smile. That's it. Yeah, that's the only reason I go.
He's awesome. He's absolutely awesome. He's amazing, man. Big shout out to you, brother. All right, we have Tim with a 5 says the entire Rippa teams meet where they all hail the Iron Age. Thank you so much. I see Jokingly also giving us some updates. We're well over 4,000, so 4,029 books, $93,000 in sales. So thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. We got Chief Critical with a 5, says covers A and D are amazing for Zalen. I struggled to pick. Excuse me. Got cover A.
A fine choice. A fine.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Shout out to the voice actor for the trailer too. Oh yeah, she did a great job. Hell, Rippaverse Chief Critical says with a 5. So thank you so much. I'm still working on it, Scottish Ranger. Still working on it. Asking about the bond. Still working on it. So I'm trying. Sin City Villain with a 20 says, Eric and your awesome team. I know the B covers aren't the most popular, but I love them. Thank you for them. Well, that's what it's about. It's about options, right? Also, update on yearly memberships. Oh yeah, I need to follow up on that.
We're looking into it. I checked on it. Yeah, it's in the works. Just like everything else, it requires like some hard coding in the background. So we're trying to figure that out. But thank you for asking and the follow up.
Yeah. Just thanks for all the work and service. Appreciate that. We're working on it. Appreciate that 20 Sin City Villain. And yeah, like for us, it's not even about that. I mean, you're gonna have your most liked like covers, and we understand that, but it is about the variety and the options. So we do understand there's an audience for those throwbacks. Excuse me.
No, I told people you don't sleep. Don't act tired.
No, I know, right? But so yeah, it's hard to it's not even about like, okay, well, if they're the most or the least, it's about variety, right? That's why we do the variety that we do in the first place. So if you like them, that's enough. It's enough either way. Of either cover, they're selling enough of us to justify continuing to do them. So that's what it's about. So appreciate that. Mr. Toxicity says Governor Sanders is a true rebel. I know exactly what you're referencing there. And I'm sure people that have read the book know what you're referring to as well. 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser with a 5. My man's with us is Great War Separation. Number 1 is essential reading. If anyone in the chat hasn't ordered it, fix that now. What a comic. Yeah, like there are, I don't like to say that, even though, yes, we are part of a connected universe. There's these must reads. But if there is to be a must read, that's probably it. Can we give you
a shout out? Evan popped in, the artist.
Oh, I didn't see him.
On the bottom.
There he is, Evan, who's the artist of Dirty Deeds. I see him right there. Well, those are the Saskas. They're awesome too. But I meant to click on this. Shout out, Evan. What's good, man? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So yeah, going back to that, let me get back to the super chat real
Sorry
quick.
to derail. I know you.
No, you're good. I don't always like to say that, right? There's an essential reading or something like no, like that has to be one of them though, because just if you want to know why the world is set up the way that it is in our universe, you kind of gotta read that book. So yeah, go get Great War Separation number 1, and it's shipping right now. So if you want to grab that, go grab it. The Great War Separation number 1, Chuck Dixon, Jack Herbert, Candace Hahn. Shout out to them all. All right, we have what's up? With a 5 says watching all of this grow from the concept to completion. It's been truly inspiring. Y'all have given me the courage I need to bet on myself. That's what it's about.
You and I are gonna fight.
Y'all gonna go at it. But no,
we're gonna fight. We're gonna
seriously, like that's what it's about. I love that there's some people getting some inspiration out of what are we doing. And look, you'll never know if you don't give it a shot. So you might as well, man. Why not? So give it a shot. Love to see you here as always, big homie. Thank you. We have Martial Arts with a 5 says, Rip, will you be voicing any other characters? Also, Carrow, shout out. I'm sure in some of the upcoming, obviously I've done all the ISOM voice work, but in some upcoming stuff, there's going to be some opportunity for me to voice some other characters. So absolutely. You'll see that. You'll see that soon enough. All right. We have Sin City Villain with a 20 says, Eric, I recall a long time ago you had a stream where you introed your badass team. Any plans for another recognize your team? It's neat to put faces to mod names from the chat and for people to know who's who. Here's the thing. Our team hasn't much changed since then. We don't have any crazy turnover here, right? Like there has been some, like a few that are no longer here, but for the most part, like there are already people that have been here. So like
we could play party animals. That's what we could do.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can link up. We could all just link up.
Yeah,
and like do a stream like that. That's I'm not against that. Where everybody just kind of hangs out. I think maybe you guys would like that, but yeah, I'm game. But yeah, the team is here, same teams. But yeah, if you want to get to know the guys and gals a little more, I mean, they have been doing because you didn't host the last one, you hosted the one before that, the Control Z that they do.
The podcast. Yeah. So we have a podcast where some of the mods, obviously, because a lot of us are creatives here. So we have the main 3 artists that are in the company that will come and talk about art, and then we kind of shift out the host. But unfortunately, what happens is sometimes like I'll be scheduled to host, and then you'll be like, I need you in this meeting. So then I just kind of quickly throw it at Andrew and run off. So
yeah. So, but I like that idea. I'm not against that, to just have like a fun stream where just everybody's here. That'd be pretty chaotic, but sometimes it's good in chaos. So
yeah, you'll find out what we're really like.
Yeah, exactly. Martial Arts of the Five said, honestly, the Rippaverse books are awesome. I've learned a lot about business from you and your team. Well, I appreciate that. We've been rather transparent about everything that we do, so we're glad that you're loving it. That's what it's about. So we appreciate y'all so much, and all the love that you've been showing. It's awesome. Yeah. It's been a great time here, and I get reached out to all the time from people that are like, yeah, I learned about this and that, and this is an option. I got inspired to do that or whatever, and that's what it's about. Like, the Rippaverse is like, obviously we're our company. Okay, that what we do is what we do, and we have our way of doing things. It doesn't mean that it's always going to make sense for you, but we appreciate those of you that have. I mean, let us know, like, you're inspired. I love hearing that, and that's also inspiring to me as well. And I love to see other people also doing awesome things, being creative. I get inspired by that type of stuff as well, even though I'm not even connected to some of this stuff. I talk about that with the Common America guys and the Iconic guys and Doug and all those guys, and the success that they're being able to see with their own brand is awesome. I love to see that, and we're just watching from afar. Sure, we collaborated on like a Christmas card, but that's it. That's to the extent that's all. Like, no investment in them, and they have no investment in us. But I just love to see hardworking, independent folk just out there giving it a shot. Right? That's what it's about. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun here, and I'm glad that you all are having some fun as well. Okay, I'm going back to RippaZine really quickly. Again, these numbers aren't up to date right here. The latest numbers, I will read y'all actually the latest numbers right now. Going to RippaZine number 3. Apparently, and I don't know how I'm gonna approach that, but I don't think this counter's right.
I think the cache is just lagging.
Yeah, but I think this is like it's ending at midnight and not 11 like we usually end it at.
Oh, that's weird. Is that like every day has an extra?
It's you know what? It's because of the time switch.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a time switch. I'm gonna text our dev right now and let them know.
We're 24/7 here, guys. 24/7.
Yeah, we're always working. We're working right now. Change timer to close at. It's for sure the time change. But yes, we're at 4,041 total books sold. So thank y'all so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you so much there. But yes, Dirty Deeds We have plenty of items that you can get here. You have the base cover, which again, if you become a member, it's right there in the top right. You can just click that button and become a member.
I totally stole the poster from the warehouse. It's
The-
proof. It's right there.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, yeah. So you see that lovely poster you can get. But we have the base version you can get with your membership or just buy it outright. We also have the collector's edition of it as well that you can get for $20. Has some awesome special treatment on it as well. You have, of course, the graded copies, which are going to be signed by Carrow herself.
Hello.
So
I'm gonna have your same wrist problems. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Good luck. Have fun with that.
No.
We got Spongy shirt, which I know a lot of people are loving.
Spongy.
We have the Dirty Deeds poster as well that you can grab. The wanted poster, both done by Kanan, by the way. Kanan did the shirt and the poster.
When Kanan asked me about the poster, he's like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Can we treat it so like in the military when you're deployed, they give you playing cards, but the playing cards are the most wanted people, so that way when you see them, you know who they are."
Yeah.
I wanted to do that. So when you guys see that and you're like, "Why does it look like that?" That's why. Okay, so
there you go. So yeah, we have bundles and stuff, catch-up packs if you want to get the other RippaZines as well. So yeah, go grab those while you can. Some of this stuff is not gonna move over to the store. So I mean, some of the books that what we have at least they'll go over, but like CGCs are done. The shirts for the most part are gonna be done. So make sure you grab those while you can. Okay. Thank you. Over 4,000 total books sold. That is quite the reception there. So appreciate y'all.
I hope you like it.
Yes. All right. I do. Appreciate y'all. Okay. She adjusted the timer. Yeah, but yeah, it was for sure that daylight saving time that threw everything off. All right.
It's archaic.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we also have oh my no one mad or number one mad with a 10 says, have you considered a novel version of your series? Great example. My wife, not a common person herself, but tolerates me getting them and loves supporting your cause, but she loves her novels. I'm not against doing a novel like for the again, I don't know how that would sell. It'd be one of those things that we put out and we're like,
we can look at the numbers. We can see which ones have sold and do a long form version.
Yeah, I mean, we could try. Like, I'm not against doing that. I want to be clear. It's like if there's an audience for it, but it for sure would be one of those that.
Oh, I know who we can test it with. I'm gonna tell you in Teams right now. Hold on.
Okay. So yeah, like I'm not against it. It would be. Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would work. Okay. Not at all wrong on that. So yeah, like I'm not against guy. Yeah. I'm not against it. If there's an audience for it, man, and we can make that make sense, then I would say I mean, why not? If we can make it make sense. So yeah. We have Amaze with a 5 says loved the site since ISOM 1, probably wouldn't have stuck around if it wasn't so easy to navigate. Says any chance ISOM Zalen fulfilling before the end of Q2? Yeah. Obviously there's always a chance that stuff fulfill, or like for example, the statues were ahead of time, especially the ISOM one. Once that starts shipping out very soon, that's way ahead of schedule. We try to put them out, and look, there's always going to be leeway, right? It's like give or take a week, right? I try to get it right on the money. Not always going to happen, but that's why we lean towards, especially with our higher volume, we lean towards like giving you a rough estimate instead of like a direct date, like oftentimes like we've been doing in the past.
We learned a lot from hurricane season in Florida.
Yeah, like it's stuff you can't control, right? So you can be ready as you want, but yeah, like to what Carrow was saying, there's other external stuff that you can't really account for that is bound to come up from time to time. Like, yeah, hurricane
Union strikes, hurricanes, like, you know, sometimes your shipping company will decide to not be married with their partner anymore, and then half your shipment goes missing and you have to go find it.
Yes, that happened to us.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens. You can't account for it. It's no way to account for it because it doesn't really have much to do with you and has more to do with the other parties that are involved. So yeah, for something like that, it is like, you know, we try to give you a rough estimate, but with our newer process, we're trying to, I guess, overstate, if that makes sense, so we can end up shipping earlier than, but that's not, it's not always going to happen.
I call it the Scotty approach. For anybody that's watched Star Trek, like OG, Scotty would usually be like, "It's impossible, Captain. It'll take me at least 3 weeks to do it." And then he'd get done in like 20 minutes. And what happened is he went on to Star Trek The Next Generation as a guest appearance. And then in there, he was like, "No, I just did that all the time. So that way they would think I was a miracle worker." Right.
Well,
so we always try to, like, we put in like the longest date with the intention to try and ship it sooner. That's what we do.
Yeah, we wouldn't just sit on it just because like it's like, oh, we said that we were going to promise it by then, and so we're going to just wait even though we have all of the items ready, right? So we want to make sure that we you know, that's our approach. So yeah, absolutely there's a chance that it would fulfill before. City Villain with a 5. Okay. I know you have an internal timeline for releases, but any hints on Saoirse and Salvage for Carrow, Go Navy, beat Army? LOL. So
I'm leaving.
But I can't give any hints right now. We have a lot of stories that are firing off. You guys know with some of these other series that we have going, you know that we got Great War Separation, we got Yaira. We have obviously the Searchers, the Salvages, and Norfolka, and you know some other stuff. We got more RippaZines obviously on the way, which Carrow was just asking me about that the other day. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I can't really give you a hint, but you know now, which is why we have the hero stash. You know now that there's a chance that, you know, something else is going to end up dropping. So yeah. All right, we have Scooter with a 7 says, "Thanks for making amazing comics. When always excited when a new one arrives at my door. Any plans for being at conventions in the 51st state?" I mean, I'm not against going to Canada for a convention. Not against that at all. Yeah, no problem. I don't see why not. If there was a demand for us to be there, sure. Scorpio says, "I just wanted to say, if a fan of a certain character, not just Solari, you have to get the Great War of Separation, in my opinion." I agree. Just finished the Great War as a text, and it hits home hard and is an excellent read. Keep them coming. So proud of the Rippaverse to be a Rippaverse fan. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Larry. Much love to you. I'm glad people are loving the Great War of Separation. We'll do some spoiler talk soon enough. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Trust me. So, all right. If you want for us, if you don't mind, I know I asked this of everybody that obviously we stream with, Carrow, because I asked it from the sisters. I know they're tired of me asking the same damn question, but hey, this is the question. I always say this before we end up getting out. Give a pitch, final pitch. Someone's on the fence of getting a representative. It doesn't have to just be because of Dirty Deeds, because there's all sorts of fun stuff that I know we do in the represents. But give a pitch as to why these people have 3 hours. I think this actually is not accurate. Let's refresh. Yes, it has been corrected. Got 2.5 hours left. And the cache is updated, by the way. So shout out, Dez. Give them a final pitch on Dirty Deeds / RippaZine issue number 3.
Well, RippaZine number 3 is what we like to call a tester, which means that it has a little bit of everything that has to do with Rippaverse. So if you're not quite sure if we're your flavor, this is a good place to come in and check it out. We've got behind the scenes stuff. We have a short story that we might feature later down the road, depending on reception. And we have also occasionally have interviews with some of the creatives that we have on the team. In this particular issue, we have Dirty Deeds. So within it is a ragtag space group that gets their hands dirty no matter what the deed is. It could be good, it could be for bad, but that's really up for you to decide because everyone's morals are different. So I hope you like it.
There you go. And I know you're going to like it. Big shout out to Evan. Big shout out to Marco, who's the colorist on it as well. Let's go. Much love. And thanks to all of y'all that have got it already, off 4,000 or however many of you that got it. Marcus Henry with a 5 question for Carrow. If you get a full comic book release for Dirty Deeds, would it be along with 96 plus or one of the shorter ones? Well, I'll answer that. I'm going to let her answer it, but I will say this much. A lot of that is always determined by the reception. It's the same reason why. And also, yeah, you got to have a direction. The writer has to have a direction that plays a role in it. But like, for example, Saoirse has an ongoing series, right? And Salvage is a graphic novel. So there's a lot that goes into the feedback, but let's kind of rephrase it. What would she prefer to do if she had to with this story, should we decide to continue to tell the story of Dirty Deeds?
I would actually like to tell Dirty Deeds in the story that's more episodic. So kind of like in the way that Star Trek Next Generation, each episode you could watch it by itself and not have to follow like the overall story, right? So if I got to write more of it, I would write it episodic so that way you can kind of plant it in anywhere and somebody could come in and they wouldn't have to read like 50 million pages of backstory. But if they did, they might see like little Easter eggs of things that are in there from before. I would also be very excited to do cameos and other people's stories with them, like in the background. That's what I would like to do as well.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of room for that. So, yeah, guys, get Dirty Deeds, get RippaZine issue number 3. You got some previews of a lot of the books that we have coming up, so you can see some of those first pages. So go grab that. I love doing these. Shout out to the audience. A lot of this has to do with the reason why the RippaZine is even a thing, has to do with some of the audience stuff. And we're a growing company, and we know that not every character, it makes sense for us to be doing full, or every story, or let's say that makes sense for us to be doing these full length things. It's always going to be determined by the audience reception. So it's a way for us to test things. And I love that about it. And it's a cheap buy-in. I mean, you got previews for all of these different books, and you can get all this stuff for just $8. New story and all that stuff for just $8. You can't beat that anyway with a stick. That's 50 plus pages, right? So go grab that over at Rippaverse.com. We have just under 2.5 hours left in this collection. So we appreciate y'all showing some love. We were never going to, by the way, I told y'all, we weren't going to be streaming here like all day long. We just wanted to come in, check in. Thank you for the support. We appreciate you. Get RippaZine, issue number 3. Get Dirty Deeds. Get Zalen.
Put it on Hero Stash.
Yeah, get in on a Hero Stash. All the stuff that we got going. Just go support us. We're very appreciative of each and every single one of you. And thanks so much for all the love that you have shown. But we're going to get up out of here because it's been a long day for both of us. And
I only look like this because I'm covered in makeup, guys. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's been a long day for the both of us. And I'm going to be right back at work in the morning for sure. And yeah, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. I'm going to end this with showing again the Dirty Deeds trailer. Thank y'all so much. Of course. Thank y'all so much. We love you to death. Appreciate all the support that you've been giving the Rippaverse. Go get RippaZine issue number 3. We will see you guys next time. We're trying to stream more on this channel as we grow it. So thank you all so much. But I gotta bounce. She's gotta bounce. Until next time, y'all be easy and watch Dirty Deeds trailer right now.
This wasn't my idea. I didn't want to come to this settlement and take Federation goods. But our illegal warship needs fuel. And Lady Bossy Butt picked this job. Having 2 militants should have made this easy. Hopefully the ship won't be busted when we get back. Hopefully. Just another dirty deed we do. But hey, at least it's fun.